Hey, college wrestling fans, it's JT1Wrestle here. Today's guest is a recent graduate of Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa. Please welcome to the show, Treyten Steffen.
I'm glad to be here.
And we're glad to have you on, man. Okay, Treyten, let's start off with our first question. Fifth, seventh, fifth at regionals. You were twice fourth at the prestigious Pete Wilson Invitational. You had 109 career wins. So, a pretty successful career at Cornell College. Talk about your career highlights while you competed for the Rams.
So yeah, I wrestled 5 years. I started off my freshman year with COVID going on. I only wrestled 6 matches, so I kind of felt really. I went 4-2, but I was really hungry to get more, and so I trained, worked all year long, and I earned the varsity spot the next year. And I kind of, if you look at the results, I kind of had an up and down year that year, and there's times where I just kind of thought I was a fraud. But I ended that year pretty strong. I got fifth place at the regional tournament, beating a guy that had really had my number all year, and he kind of had my number my entire career. But at the end, I ended up taking it. The co-guy, Matthew Arsenal, he was pretty tough. But yeah, as my career just went on, I mean, I think my biggest thing was I saw a sports psychologist at like I want to say junior year, and I think it really flipped a switch. And if you look at how junior, senior to like my fifth year went, I think you can see that in how I started just like, I don't know, I started pinning guys more. I started just going out there and like doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I just believed more in my training. Like, I think my biggest thing my first 2 years is I just didn't think I had the tank to go out there and compete. But then the moment I like flipped that switch, I just went out there and I was probably one of the more conditioned guys out there. So that's that's I mean, that was like one of my biggest things I'd say.
Just alluded to it, and you are definitely an understatement. Of your 109 career wins, 39 of them were by pin. What helped you to become such an effective pinner during your college wrestling career?
I don't know, I really liked top wrestling, and like it was just so fun to just break guys from the top position. I would just be sticky. I would not let a guy escape. If you look at some of my big wins this last year, I wrestled Charles Bajic, and I broke, like, he got the first takedown. I got an escape, and he's pretty good on top. Got an escape, and I pretty much got my takedown, and I rode him the rest of the match. And I just mat return. I wasn't able to get a pin there. I wrestled same thing, national duels. I wrestled Central guy, Austin Roos, and I rode him the second and third period. And then at the regional tournament, he didn't even choose down on me. So it's just like breaking guys from that top position where I would just ride him for 3 minutes, and by the time it was over, I could get a bent leg Turk. I could get an arm bar. I like the little hammerlock series too. And after you get a dude flat on his belly, exhausted, it started getting easy. I also think sometimes people get lazy when you're finishing a shot on them, and I did pretty well just sticking guys off of my own shots when they're getting lazy in transitions. So yeah, I but for the most part, it's just conditioning and just breaking guys.
Excuse me. So in NCAA Division III wrestling, at every weight class, only 18 of 126 wrestlers per weight class will qualify for nationals. That's only 14% of the wrestlers compared to like NCAA Division One, where 41% of the varsity wrestlers qualify for nationals. what are your thoughts on this? What are the pros and cons of D3 having so few qualifiers? Or it's 21 now, so I've made that
Yeah.
mistake twice now, but it's 21 now, but still 21 that would probably only bump it up to what, 15, 16% still compared to the
Yeah.
41% of D1.
No, it's tough. But I think it really gets us the best guys out there. I think very rarely you have a guy that shouldn't be there. And I think that's like the best thing about it. But at the same time, you have like tough regionals. I mean, the lower Midwest is just a tough, and the upper Midwest, they're both just tough regionals. I mean, it all got mixed up a little bit. I don't know exactly how it is now, but like they were just tough regionals. You get guys that miss out on it every year. I mean, I was the guy that got fifth place like three times. Like I just was knocking on that door every year. Heartbreaking. I mean, I would have loved to have that opening, but at the same time, I don't know. I think you definitely get your best guys out there. Um, I don't know if it would water it down or not, but I think maybe if you look at some fifth place finishers at some of the other regionals, maybe it's a good thing that we don't do that. But at the same time, yeah, I would have liked it.
I have mixed feelings on it myself. I think, and I'll get your opinion on this as well. I think one of the pros of having the fewer qualifiers in NCAA Division Three is it allows the season itself to mean more. Like in NCAA Division One, there's such a large focus on national tournament, national tournament, national tournament. But at NCAA Division Three, you'll kind of notice that there's more emphasis and more pride, more prestige put upon the regionals, upon Pete Wilson, upon Oppenheim. So I think I don't know your opinion on that, but when I talk to D3 wrestlers and D3 coaches, they speak to Pete Wilson, they speak to Oppenheim, they speak to regionals, where D1 coaches kind of CKLV and Midlands and Southern Scuffle, it's not as big of a deal to them. It's just all about nationals. I mean, what are your feelings on that?
No, I like your take. I agree with that. Like I know when we walked into Pete Wilson, like we wanted to win that thing. Like it was, and our coach was like, "This is probably harder than our regional right now. Like if you can place at this tournament, you're placing at the regional tournament. Like this is what you need to do to like get ready for that." That's why we went every year because it is a tough tournament. Like those guys that you're wrestling in those place matches, not even like I think I my toughest bracket was probably this year at Pete Wilson. I had some. I mean, you had Bryce McCloskey, um, you had Jacob Badger, North Central kid, Cameron Butka. Like it was a brutal bracket, and I lost the second round to the Rhode Island kid. Go on the backside, I got to wrestle three studs to get back into the bracket. So it's like it's crazy, and like that's how it is if you want to make it to the national tournament. So yeah, I know I agree 100%.
Well, let's switch gears here a second and go from the mat to the classroom. While you were at Cornell, you were very successful in the classroom. You earned NWCA Scholar All American honors twice. Talk about your success here and the importance of being able to do well both on the mat and in the classroom.
Yeah, so actually my like first few years I struggled in the classroom. I started off engineering and I had a lot of other things going on personally, and with COVID going on, didn't really like I just couldn't figure it out. And so I switched my majors into education, and I actually like being at D3 schools. I think this is the biggest pros. Like I made a really great relationship with my physical education professor, and so through that, like I just started to really enjoy like learning and like being there every day. Like there's I like me being a teacher now is because of that professor. Like I he made me gravitate towards this career, this profession, and it made me want to put more of that extra effort in. And I think, I mean, being a wrestler, putting all that time in, if I can put all that time into the wrestling room, I should be able to put that time in to the classroom as well.
Uh, Brett Ham is your head coach. You also had Carter Happel and Matt McDonough on staff. What was it like having two NCAA Division One wrestlers in the room, especially one that won two NCAA Division One titles?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll talk about each of them. I'll start off with McDonough. He was there for like my first 2 years a lot. And I can just say, like, going from high school to a McDonough practice, big difference. I barely survived that. Like, we come in and like it was COVID, so we only practiced half the team. But like, we also had to like we could only be like in contact with each other just a little bit. So we're just doing these circuits and they're just brutal. And so we're off then from like all Thanksgiving, come back, and he's just right back at it again. And I'm just like, man, I am so out of shape. But yeah, but he was the guy that like pushed me to just like I always thought like I was gonna like stay over the summer, keep working. But I was like, where am I gonna go? But he had a club, McDominate, and we just went there every single day or every single time they had practice in the summer. And I got to wrestle. I mean, my partners were a little bit lighter than me all summer, but there was a time where I got to wrestle Cash Wilkie. He destroyed me, but I mean, it's good. I got to experience a lot of things there. I improved a lot that summer. And then going into that next year, I got to wrestle a guy. He brought in a guy, Alex Meyer, because he was training for a match that he had. I can't think of what it was for, but so he gave me a lot of opportunities to just really get better, and he pushed. Like I think there's a point where I was really struggling getting up the ropes, and he just like would not let me quit. He's like, "You're doing it," and then like I think I like cut it short once, and he's like, "Go again," and I'm like, "Man, like this sucks," but it was great. He definitely pushed me to like reach my limits and get to where I needed to be. And then, I mean, Carter Happel, he just, he's so technical. If there's anything, like, I know I'd be like in a goofy position and I just like talk him through. I'm like, what am I supposed to do in this spot? Like, so Kale McLaren and I would wrestle a lot. And Kale, there's some things you just can't do on Kale. He's long. Like he's good at being able to get out of takedowns. Like he's stingy. So I just like, what am I like supposed to do here? Because I like can't finish my single legs on Kale. And we would like talk it through, like, or I would do something to Kale, and Kale would be like, I can't finish this, and we'd walk over to Happel, and Happel would walk us through it. So that like, and Happel's just a great guy to have in the room. He's just good personality, so that's always good. And then the heart of it all is just Ham. Ham is just the heart of the team, motivational speaker. Like there's so many things, like so many speeches that just got us fired up. Like going into our last home duel last year against Co, he would like we were so ready for that, and like we showed it. I mean I was scared for a second, but then you got Brian Petrie to get that pin. You got, I mean, AJ Parrish beats Bo Kodum or yeah, Bo Kodum, I think that's his name. And it was just electric. And then Jackson Brinker with the beat on Damari Dancy was awesome. So yeah, we were just ready, and I wish we would have been a little bit more ready for the regional tournament. But yeah, that's our Ham and Happel are the two best coaches in D3. In my opinion, I mean, biased take, but like that I would go to war for those two.
Mentioned it a little earlier that you were into teaching now. So, along with teaching, where are you teaching at, and what else is next in the life of Treyten Steffen?
All right, so yeah, I am starting my first year teaching at St. Joseph's Catholic School in Des Moines, Iowa. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's my first year teaching, but it's a little scary. But at the same time, I'm really excited. I'm ready for it. And then I'm trying to get into coaching. I'm going to help out at Norwalk, help their wrestling program out. And I think I want to compete still, but I probably won't do it on the wrestling stage. I think I'm gonna try to get into some jujitsu. and stuff like that because I still got some drive. So yeah, I don't know. I'm also training for a marathon here in October, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah.
Right. Well, good deal. Well, Treyton, I want to thank you for being a part of JT1 Wrestle today. Wish you the best in teaching and in coaching, as well as if you get into jujitsu. And Lord knows if I tried running a marathon right now, I'd last probably about 5 minutes, throw up, and then have to be carted on an ambulance to the hospital. All righty, man. Thanks a lot. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you. Thanks for having me.